Hello.
Welcome, one, welcome all.
Yeah, hi. This is a tiny bit different. This is not a stream, this is us recording, so we can edit out all of us being and having really shit social skills and
like
being
that?
kind of talking. Yes. Yeah, we mentioned that we were gonna to cap off the Spyro stream saga.
An addendum, if you will.
Yeah, we're gonna just. It'll be fun to just do like a little tier list ranking of all the games we played. Just to go through each of them, just discuss what we thought about them, and just how we'd rank them. This is probably gonna be taking into account our own personal opinions and biases,
rather than trying to do an objective list or anything.
Yeah, so some of them that we might think overall might be objectively, I guess quote unquote objectively worse or better, and others might rank higher or lower than we would otherwise.
What do you think?
I don't care. No, if you agree with our list, tell us. If you don't agree with our list, also tell us, and I can ignore you. No, it is good to have a discussion about this kind of thing. So
with that out of the way,
yeah, I realised these aren't quite in order. Spyro 2 is before Spyro 1.
Well, we can quickly change that.
I might need to move Spyro 2 back. There you go.
There you go.
Cool. So yeah, Spyro 1.
Yes. I mean, it's...
Esther.
It's the original. It's at least A.
Yeah.
It's... If it wasn't successful, none of these others would exist anyway.
Yeah, which is always something to take into account for a first entry, even if I feel like that's kind of sometimes a cheating free pass kind of thing. But no, I think even without that, I would still rank it very high because it's a game I find very relaxing to play. It has some neat not quite puzzles, but levels like treetops and stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff that's fun to figure out. That I do wish there was more of. I kind of wish the game was a bit harder in places. But it's very relaxing, and I do like that it doesn't require any backtracking whatsoever.
Yes.
It
doesn't have any extra bloat dragging it down, really.
Yeah, the most you could potentially say about that is flight levels, but there's 6 of them.
Yeah. I'm tempted to put it in S, actually.
I'm gonna put it in S.
Let's put it in S.
Yeah. We're also probably gonna actually order them
within each tier,
Yeah.
based on how good they are. So
yeah,
I guess the leftmost is the best one.
yeah, and the visuals are really nice and pleasant, and it has a really nice aesthetic. Music's good. I remember saying that a lot in this. It's just a very charming game. It's quite simple, but I think that works in its favor. Honestly, it's part. This is first example of it being due to nostalgia. But if I had a choice between something that's like Spyro 1, that's technically quite simple and mechanically quite simple, and something like a collective one like Mario 64, which has more tech you can do and everything, I would still pick Spyro 1 because I think it just is easier to pick up and play, and doesn't really have much in the way of frustrating bullshit. So yeah, it's easy S tier for me.
Yep.
Okay.
Spyro 2.
Gateway to Glimmer.
Yes.
I have some water. What are your thoughts on?
It builds on Spyro 1 in a good way. Most of the time, it has.
It has more stuff to do, I guess. It has power-up stuff, and
yeah,
it introduces generally more mechanics. So it has hovering, climbing, swimming, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it does lose a little bit of that freedom Spyro 1 has, because Spyro 1, you can you don't have to backtrack for anything, but you can also choose what you want to do to progress, whereas Spyro 2 you're a bit more you're forced to get all the talismans kind of thing.
It has progression, but that doesn't always work in its favor.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I wouldn't say it's like a 100% improvement, but it improves a lot of things to Spyro 2. Like, definitely controls better. From Spyro 2? From Spyro 1. Yeah, whatever. Like I say, controls better. There's more variety in the levels themselves, like in terms of like the level theming, and it has more stuff you can do, which I think are welcome. Like, being able to swim is great. And like hovering is a good addition. And like stuff like spitting things and just generally just having like the power ups are cool.
Yeah.
Like Super Flame. Like it's not just, hey, what if your flame is more powerful? It's, here's a cool ass fireball.
I think the levels have like perhaps more diverse themes.
Yeah, I'd say so.
They have an attempt to bind some of them together.
Yeah, which was weirdly held back on late in development. It's like, oh, we can't have them too connected.
Even though the realms in Spyro 1 were fairly cohesive in their...
Yeah, but I think that did lead them sort of blending in a bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas like, yeah, Crystal Glacier and Scaleless Badlands both have like the bone guys and some wizards, but one's, you know, lava fields, the other is a mountain in the snow. Also the double jump glitch.
The double jump glitch, you have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, I love doing that so much. It oh
sorry.
Yeah, like it is my favorite to like sequence break.
Yeah.
In fact, it's the only one I do any major sequence breaking with, because I can, because it's so easy, and I have a lot of fun with that, which is I think is partly why I rank it as high as I would, because I think it's like, I think they're very close, but I do kind of consider it my least favorite of the trilogy, in spite of a lot of the positives I've said, but it's still very good. But the fact that you can double jump in a sequence break very well, I think does slightly edge it out over the Spyro 1 for me. So also S2.
Yeah, fair.
Um,
I'm good to put it in S2.
Yeah.
Are we just going to have all of the original three end up in S2?
Of course. I think it would be slightly above Spyro 1 in that case.
Okay.
I think, yeah, because if it didn't have the double jump glitch, it would be lower. But it does, and that's great, and I fucking love it. Also, once again, music banger.
Yep. That can be said for all of these. All of these three.
Yes. Now, Year of the Dragon. Like...
It was the first one I played, so I'm probably a little biased.
Same.
I really like it.
Yeah, I think it improves in a lot of things Spyro 2 was trying to do, like, in terms of, like... It still has the slightly more linear progression, but it actually... Like, the thing you collect at the end of the level is actually worth a damn.
Yeah.
It has a bit more leniency of, like, what you can find without having to do minigames.
It's a little more consistent.
Yeah. I think most of the extra like playable characters and vehicles are good enough additions. Some of them can feel like they overstay their welcome a little bit, but it's not like super egregious. It's not a massive part of the game.
I like the variety of the extra characters.
Yeah. I think the Spyro levels also generally feel like very well designed as well, and it's nice to have shortcuts back.
Yes.
Skateboarding's cool.
To make the... Yep, skateboarding's cool.
Yeah.
To make the levels more... the shortcuts... It kind of opens up the levels more once you've gone through the linear path that it wants you to.
Yeah, and also when it comes to backtracking, I mean, for one, you don't need Spyro, like, a new ability for Spyro to backtrack. You just need some of the new characters, which feels less arbitrary.
Yeah.
Because I didn't mention it in Spyro 2.1, but my go-to example is Sunny Beach, which has a minigame where two of the level's three orbs are locked behind which you need the climbing to get to. The minigame does not involve climbing at all.
Yeah, whereas in Spyro 3, the minigame has the new character in it.
Yeah. And also in the original game, all three of the instances where you would have to backtrack, like, no matter what, can be glitched into.
Right. And that makes it fine.
I mean, I included the double jump glitch as far as 2
Yeah.
jumping. So yeah, the Year of the Dragon is currently top of S tier.
That's where I would put it as well.
Yeah.
The only thing that puts it down a little bit is
like
some of the mini games not being as good.
yeah, not all of them are winners. But the same can be said for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like Spyro 1 doesn't have any, but it also doesn't have this. I feel like it isn't quite as strong in some places, which is why it's not higher. But like, yeah, honestly, 2 and 1 are a little interchangeable for me at times. But I think because of the double jump and sequence breaking aspects, 2 wins out over 1 slightly. 3 wins out over both because it's just my favorite game. Like,
it also has far more of a story than the other 2.
yes. Yeah, like 3, it has a nostalgia factor for being one of the first games I properly got sunk into and fell in love with, and it is. I think it still probably is my, like, if not my favorite game, one of my favorite video games of all time.
Oh yeah, it's definitely up there.
Yeah, and like 2 and 1 are also in the one of my favorites, but 3 is the only one that is a contender for top 1 favorite.
Yeah.
I've played a lot of games, so it's kind of hard to. Now, for the other end of the spectrum, we have Spyro Season of Ice.
It's the only game that we didn't finish.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I think that says quite a bit about it. The levels are visually very confusing.
It's very hard to remember where you are in a lot of later levels, and annoyingly, I felt like it's had a somewhat strong start. Like, I feel like Lava Prairie and Mermaid Coast, I think that's what it's called, are pretty strong levels, and irritating run-ups that spin you off the edge of platforms aside, Market Mesa was also quite nice, but it quickly devolves into, like, very hard to traverse, hard to pass depth perception levels.
Yeah, the lack of the attempting to do a 3D game in 2D.
Yeah, the lack of checkpoints.
The lack of checkpoints, which means that if you're in the middle of something and you fall off the ledge, you then have to do the entire thing again.
Yeah. The fact that the requirement, it goes back to the Spyro 1 thing where progression is only locked behind the main collectible. You don't have to necessarily go to every level, but the requirements are so high, you basically have to.
Yeah.
And story's dumb.
Story's dumb.
Just ask Grandor. Music's nice. Having Sparks levels that are about of the same quality. Not quite of the same quality as the other Dragons ones, but good enough still. Was good. But honestly, it might be among my least favorite Spyro games, and one I don't particularly enjoy. I would probably put it in D tier. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is subject to change if we decide, looking at any of the other ones, that they
are worse. We may add an F tier. But it was a good attempt at a Spyro game on GBA.
Yeah,
which wasn't ready. It needed a lot of fine tuning. Which speaking of,
received
in Season of Flame, which is like I have like the opposite reaction. A tier for me, I think.
Yeah.
I think the fact that it is a GBA game and it has limitations of it is what's preventing it from being S tier for me. Because like it's not one I go back to as much or like love as much, but it is such night and day between Season of Ice and Season of Flame. Like Season of Flame just improves in basically every way on what Season of Ice was trying to do. It has more cohesive level design, slopes. It has a map.
Yes.
It still does the Spyro 1 thing, but you actually can avoid levels if you want. Hell, I did a challenge run during our stream, and it didn't affect progression that much at all. Like I didn't pick up Flame Breath until after I beat Ripto.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and like some of the writing has more charm, I found. banger music. I mean, all three of the isometric GBA games have some good music. Yeah, and hey, and it had like I'm kind of mixed on Sheila and Agent 9's inclusion.
Yeah, those would be the low points probably.
Yeah, but that's like 8 Fireflies out of 100. Like part of me always thinks if I wasn't going for 100%, if I was just going for beat the game, how much fun this would be, which is why I have a bit of a problem with how Spyro 2 does progression when I'm 100%. I'm personally 100% in these games, but if someone's not,
right.
Season of Flame, it's very easy to ignore the non-Spyro stuff. Because you don't need to do any of them. You don't need to pay money bags to actually get to Repto down. I didn't even realize. And hey, it's technically the first game to introduce breath switching. Yeah,
and I liked the like ice platforms and stuff.
Yeah. You had like breath up, like the super breaths was cool. And yeah, it's just a fun time, really. I think it's one of 2 GBA Spyro games I would genuinely recommend to people to try out. I think it captures a lot of what makes Spyro good in handheld format. Obviously, it's not going to be quite the same quality, but it is just really good, honestly.
Yeah.
I wish we could keep that positivity up for next few games, but this was honestly the low point of our streaming, because next is Enter the Dragonfly.
Enter the Dragonfly, the widely beloathed.
Yeah,
needs no introduction.
Yeah, annoyingly, it's one of those games where I feel like if it was more stable and had more time put into it, could have been something good, if not great.
Yes, I mean, at least Season of Ice functions.
Yeah, but like, given long loading times and like low frame rate, makes it playing it kind of unenjoyable. I like some of the level aesthetics. Last game to have Stuart Copeland on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
So that's always nice. And it does feel like what would be a natural continuation from Spyro 3. It's just, God, I wish the game was better. I think the fact that there are so few levels, but they take so long.
Yeah.
Is like
massively wide open with not a lot in the levels.
It's like the worst of both worlds, really. But like,
I mean, at least the levels look nice.
Yeah, I will say, with the exception of the characters' mouths, the game and like looks good on an aesthetic level. And a couple of levels I do like. I like Jurassic Jungle, but that's the literal final level. So I think I would rank it slightly above Season of Ice, but it's still in D tier.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going as well. Animation move. There we go.
Yeah, because like, I think any positives I have kind of don't make up for the fact that it's a chore to play through. Like, I like that they expanded on the breath stuff, because like having different breaths has been a thing since Spyro 2. Like, I've wanted to do ice breath stuff for a while, because they had that the power up in Cloud Temples, and Spyro 3 had Frozen Altars. But like, Season of Flame was the first one to actually include it as just a permanent thing, and Enter Dragonfly is the first console game to do that. And they're developed and released around the same time. This one just came out a couple months afterwards, so it's next on the list. And lost out to getting the title of being the first to do that by process of coming out later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not amazing. It's been talked about. On a technical level, it's kind of a short playthrough. It's fun to break though. It's very easy to break.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're just basing it on glitches being okay and what the person needs to do to complete the game, it's actually not that bad.
Yeah. I know it is possible to just head bash into the final boss area. I can't do that, but I can still do a very quick, like, I think it took like 10 minutes to get to the final boss, and considering that's how you get the gem search, which in this game, because of the low level of detail and like not having being able to see distant gems is kind of necessary.
Oh, I forgot about the render distance for the gems. That's so bad.
Like, especially when the PS1 games actually, you know, fix it. Like,
Yeah.
had a fix for that. But oh well. Anyway,
Let's move on.
yeah, to Spyro Adventure or Attack of the Rhinox if you're not.
Yeah. I remember kind of enjoying this from from the perspective of
Not
an
playing it.
observer. Yeah.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings because I like the idea of a more interconnected Spyro game and the more like, hey, go on a quest and find stuff. It very much devolves into fetch quest territory at times.
Yeah.
The character minigames suck ass, and the only way you're getting keys, which
Very
is the only way you're getting most.
God, the
of
Sergeant
the
Bird
items.
stuff.
Oh my god. It was kind of hard to 100% at times because like there are different sub areas, so not knowing what gems are where, and also just the fact that the game again didn't have a map. The level, it was nice to actually have levels that felt like worlds.
Yeah,
Like-
it's visually, I think it's just a step up from Season of Flame generally.
Yeah. It has a lot of cute animation stuff to it as well, like
Yeah.
with the enemies and the fodder. I think I would put it in C tier because
Yeah.
I mean I am
Stick
very tempted to put it in D, but I think there are enough positives.
I think it's I enjoyed it more than Season of Ice and Dragonfly.
yeah, it's kind of it's one that I like ideas of, and I think it has its own quirky charm to it, but I don't really want to go back to it that much. But I at least acknowledge that it wasn't a complete pain. Yeah, I think the fact that you have some more positive thoughts about it than I do is why I'm not putting it in D tier as well.
Fair enough. I'm trying to remember more about the actual moment-to-moment gameplay.
It was fine. I mean, honestly, a lot of levels kind of blended together in terms of the layout. Because there's a lot of here's a lot of vertical platforming up the back half of this isometric level.
Yeah.
But it had some neat gimmicks, like having to freeze ice blocks and then use wind breath to blow yourself over. Don't blow yourself. And stuff, which was cool, but also made return visits levels a little bit of a pain. Like they didn't do the thing where once you've done the puzzle the first time, you can unlock a shortcut to bypass doing that every time you explore a level kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay. I think it's probably gonna end up being a low C tier if we put other stuff in there. But it's not the worst of what we played. Speaking of which,
It had a better boss fight than Season of Ice.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the
Oh boy. Spyro Orange/Fusion.
yeah, this one where I would rank it higher if you didn't have to replay each minigame.
It really
3
outstays
times.
its welcome.
Yeah, and because I don't think it's as bad as he'll make it out to be. I feel that more with Crash Purple because Purple was one I actually kind of enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Spyro Orange, Spyro Fusion, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is kind of just Crash and Spyro at the Olympic Games.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a bunch of like random mini
Minigame
games
portals, which
that if it was just like maybe the second version of each of them, it would probably be better.
it doesn't help that the tank minigames, the flying minigames, and the hovercraft minigames are all the fucking same.
Yes.
Like, it has some variation. In fact, I think some of the later ones you unlock are optional. Like the stuff I unlocked after beating Gem Hop, which we haven't done yet,
Yeah.
is actually more interesting than some of the earlier game stuff.
It
But
requires you to do Gem Hop.
yeah, it's the platform in the main level is also quite loose at times. It's
And visually, a lot of the times it feels a little lazy as well.
you reckon?
Yeah, because you've got assets that look quite out of place, like the walking tank thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. That didn't quite look like it was in the same style as Spyro.
Yeah, and the ones where Spyro is riding the vehicle and it's just a separate sprite that's just kind of pasted behind it.
Yeah. It has a weird visual identity, especially when you encounter the Crash characters who look more like they do, but then Crash and Spyro do not have the same art style.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm tempted. I'm feeling kind of tempted to put it in D tier. I don't know. What do you think?
I found it somewhat less frustrating. Oh, I know. I'm just remembering the fucking Pong minigame that took me like 45 minutes. Never mind. Yeah, no. I think high D tier.
High D tier.
Like higher than those two.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe it can be upgraded in the future.
Yeah, we'll see where things go.
We've got a nice reverse bell curve going on here.
So we do. Time to ruin it.
With Hero's Tail. Woo, Hero's Tail.
S tier.
S tier, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I am genuinely of the opinion that this game holds up as well as the original trilogy.
I mean, I did enjoy it quite a lot. I'm tempted to put it. My first instinct would be A tier.
Yeah, higher than Season of Flame.
Probably higher than Season of Flame.
Like, okay, the things I don't like are mostly just things that are different. Like, just wishing it was closer in some ways to
the original formula.
Original formula, but. After slugging through the last 3 games as well, but like no, it's such a charming game. The platforming is fun, like, and there are so many aspects of it that I feel like are, like, again, genuine expansions of the Spyro formula. Like, double jumping feels natural, like a natural, like, again, Spyro's a dragon with wings. I feel like feels like one of those characters who makes sense to be able to double jump. Just general exploration.
And it's also got a good sense of humor.
Good sense of humor. Good sense of just whimsy in general.
Yeah. I never felt like it was a slog to get through at any point.
Yeah.
It flows together nicely enough.
Yeah, and I just find it so much fun to play. It has charm. I do wish some of the stuff you buy from money bags is more interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
considering that gems are
very abundant.
Very abundant.
I love playing as Hunter. I wish you could play as him more. Blink was fine. Sergeant Bird's cool. Bus Box is whatever. Like,
some of the Sergeant Bird things were a little annoying with the render distance.
Yeah, I will say, like Season of Flame, it's a case of you don't need to play as the other characters to beat the game,
true.
With the exception of one Hunter section. But Hunter's the best character in the game.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy playing as Hunter more than any of the other characters, even in Year of Dragon, to be honest.
Yeah, fair.
I just think he controls very fluidly, and it's just fun. It's just fun.
Alright, that's allowed to be an S tier.
Yeah.
Low S tier.
Yeah. It's also one where I don't 100% every time I play it, just because the reward is kind of not great. But it's still a great game to me. It's one of my favorites. And I just, really like it.
Now allow me to show you the not-so-secret front exit.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't take itself too seriously, which is great. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to Spyro taking itself seriously, as we'll see in the next bajillion games.
It's kind of crazy how many of them are.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just a game I find very charming, and I know people would probably rank it a little lower, like not quite as good as the original trilogy. I mean, in a sense, like, it's not quite as good, but I think it's good enough that it doesn't matter.
It's the first 3D game to do breath switching kind of well.
Yeah.
Which is an accolade, I guess.
Oh,
well,
also,
I guess.
I just want to point out that box art there, that was drawn by the guy who did a lot of the Star Wars posters.
Oh, well, I mean, it shows.
Yeah, it is. I love it. It's totally inconsistent with what the actual game is.
Yeah.
But it looks really good.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I think of all the classic games, it has the most stuff in it that I would want to see return. If we were to ever get another Spyro game. Like, I think Spyro's new movement options, as long as it doesn't compromise how Spyro feels controlled from the original trilogy. The multiple ref stuff. Hell, bring back Flame and Ember, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice. Moving on.
Ready for our first B tier, probably?
Probably we got the DS version of... no.
This is the only original Nintendo DS Spyro game.
Sorry, I couldn't tell by looking at the mashed up title there. But yeah, this is Shadow Legacy.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. It was a completely different take compared to every other Spyro game so far.
Yeah, it's one that I think I would have liked to see have more time, and also maybe... I don't know, I find it cozy. Like, it's not a great game by any means. But it's one that I enjoy playing. I find it just cozy to play. I like a lot of the weird esoteric lore additions.
Yeah.
Like, Moneybags has a wife and kids. Hunter is a prince. Sure, fuck it, why not? We will.
Light RPG mechanics.
Yeah, very light. But it, honestly, a more polished version of that is something I would really enjoy.
Yeah.
I still have a soft spot for it. I know it's not great, which is why I'm not ranking it higher. But I honestly don't really dislike it. I didn't really feel like I was. It's a little repetitive, but I didn't feel like I was waiting for it to be done.
Yeah.
Like, the only feeling I had about that, I mean, partly because when we were streaming it, we were doing it where you were in command of the touchscreen stuff and I was in command of the gameplay, of the control stuff, and that felt a little awkward.
I do enjoy a game that allows me to draw a spell, though. I always do find that a little fun, even though sometimes it was a little impermissive with it.
Yeah, the shock spell. Good thing you don't really need to do it that much.
Yeah.
And the other reason I might have potentially been wanting to move on is because the next game was a new beginning. So yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I really like. It's kind of more than anything a relic of its time, because it's of a time of gimmicky handhelds.
Right. Yeah.
Which we don't really see anymore. Handheld gaming is kind of just
actual games.
Yeah. Either actual games or mobile games, basically.
Yeah, basically.
And that's riddled with microtransaction bullshit and ads and everything.
Say what you like about any of the games on here, none of them have that.
Yeah. But yeah, Shadow Legacy is some of its elements would kind of translate later into Legend of Spyro. Purple dragons are special magic and stuff, and
do combo.
Yeah, the sorcerer is
a purple dragon.
Just mouthful.
Yeah.
Part of me kind of wants the next Spyro game to actually follow on story-wise from this, even though that would make no fucking sense.
That would make no sense. It would be the most hilarious thing they could do.
Yeah. We're never getting a follow-up to this, which is annoying, because it's the only game to end with an actual cliffhanger.
Yeah, I guess so. That's kind of funny.
But yeah, it's not amazing by any means. And honestly, if I didn't find it so cozy and charming, I would probably rank it lower. But it's what I like. I don't dislike going back to it when I feel up for it. Yeah, I like exploring a world.
Yeah, and talking to the various inhabitants of said world.
Yeah, it's cool. I like being like, hey, can I help you burn trash around your inn?
And the combat gameplay, I feel like because you've already played it a lot, you kind of knew all of the... Well, played it a lot.
Yeah.
You kind of knew what the best things to do were to just trivialize a lot of it.
To be honest, it doesn't take much to trivialize the game.
Fair enough.
You can, for the most part, you can just spam the horn jab attack and you'll win.
Right.
It's just... Yeah,
so what you're telling me is it needs a style meter. It needs more experience based on your combo.
Yeah, that would be something that would be a nice addition. I wonder when that's going to happen.
Not in the next game.
Yeah. Okay, so should we get started with the Legend of Spyro trilogy series then? A New Beginning.
A New Beginning. I like A New Beginning. It's It's probably the most repetitive of the
trilogy.
of the Legend trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the platforming isn't as strong as it could be. Visually, it's fucking incredible.
Yes. I will say that.
And I mean, like we've talked about it before. I love.
The switch to the darker sort of tone to the story.
The darker tone, the more the bigger focus on just actually a single setting and like a world and everything. Like it could have been done better, yes. Has it been done better by fans? Also, yes. But it's just such a
cinema.
I mean, you can't see it, but the PAL version does have a cinema age rating rather than a game age rating, which is kind of funny. I don't know why. Is it because it has so many cutscenes? Yeah, the combat is a little repetitive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of going to be the case for all three of these, to be honest. But I still enjoy it. I find it satisfying. And it's not a long game.
And it's not a long game.
Yeah, I just wish there's more stuff to collect and do. You thinking A tier?
It's quite linear. It's either going to be A or B. It's not going to fit into S, no way.
I'm a little conflicted, probably because I'm not sure where I'm going to put Dawn of the Dragon when it comes to it.
Yeah. I guess we'll think about Dawn of the Dragon when we get to it.
Yeah, so I think A New Beginning, I'll probably put high B.
Sure, let's put it there for now.
Yeah. It's one where, controversial opinion, I think Eternal Night actually improved.
Yes.
On it. Which, considering people consider it one of the worst Spyro games, is kind of telling that we have the unpopular opinion there. But
yeah,
speaking of Eternal Night,
here it is.
Holy shit, mood!
Woo!
Like, it is the moodiest Spyro game, like console Spyro game, and I love it for it.
Yes.
Right off the bat, I will say it does kind of suffer from we're reusing a lot of assets from New Beginning.
Yeah.
And even just stuff we reused earlier. Like, okay, there are 7 Ice King variants up across these 2 games. 5 of them are in this game.
It's okay, they're just like mini bosses. It's fine.
Yeah. But I love the storytelling. I love the sort of gloom and like a sense of dread of the eclipse drawing near.
Yeah. Half of the story is kind of a pointless quest in a way.
Go to the tree, now get captured, lol.
Yeah.
Then.
But everything apart from that in the story is great.
Yeah, I like the White Isle is one of my favorite locations in honestly any video game. And it certainly has like one of my favorite scenes in a Spyro game, which is the Chronicler's Tale. I want to just sets me move the entire thing, and I love the way he just talks about like Dark Master and like Spyro's dawning realization of who like the Chronicler is talking about.
Yeah.
And like it's like it's harder than New Beginning, which some would say it's too hard. I kind of agree, but that's kind of what Dragon Time's for.
Yeah, and I think that actually makes the combat a little more interesting.
Yeah. Also, I like that some of the refs actually have functionality, like in levels, like you have to use like the polar bombs to freeze water.
Yeah.
And you have like the elemental melee attacks. So it's not just here are 2 breaths, here's a breath and a melee thing.
Yeah.
And also Dark Spyro.
We haven't done a
full playthrough of, but the fact that it has collectibles and
it has NG Plus and collectibles.
Yeah,
and it has better platforming.
Yes, and in the fact that it has platforming.
Yeah, and like optional areas and sort of.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with putting it in A.
I'm happy putting it in A.
Do you think above or below Season of Flame?
See, this is where it gets tricky because these games are very different.
Yeah, exactly.
To the classic games, so comparing them is harder. I think I enjoy it more than Season of Flame. So I think I would put it a bit higher.
I think plus also the general story aspects that it has above any of the classic stuff.
Yeah. A New Beginning does have...
A New Beginning does have that, but it's brought down by other...
Yeah, I'm saying it also does have New Game Plus technically, but it's more just you keep all your stuff.
Yeah.
Which is mostly what Eternal Nights is, but it also has Dark Spyro, which actually has interactions with everything.
Does A New Beginning have any equivalent to like the Dragon Challenges?
No.
Yeah.
The only thing you unlocked for beating the game was that Elijah Wood interview,
Right.
which we watched, which is kind of cute. But yeah, like Eternal Night had just a lot of extra stuff which I liked. Has the art gallery. And first Spyro game to have a vocal track. This Broken Soul,
Yeah, potentially.
which I'm not sure if I count that as a strict plus. I mean, I like the song, but it's not like I never felt like I was missing it.
What about the vocal samples in the Bone Dance Skeletons
Okay,
track?
one that's where they actually wrote lyrics for it and didn't just sample stuff. Okay, Dawn of the Dragon.
Dawn of the Dragon. Fucking Dawn of the Dragon, innit?
Okay, this is, again, I feel like we have the unpopular opinion that it's actually not as good as the other two. I will say it's more fun co-op.
Yes.
Okay, assuming you have a competent co-op partner, because if not, then you're just going to get, like, because if one of you dies, both of you die, basically.
Yeah.
But no, it was fun to play co-op, and
Anything's fun when you're playing it with your friends, though.
yeah. But no, I do think it does.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, I need to stop bumping the mouse against the keyboard.
Yeah. I think it does do a lot of things right. I mean, I like in concept the free flight. Co-op is fun. Being able to play as Cinder is great. It has some climbing sections. Has a good amount of collectibles. In theory, the combat is better because you have more combos. You have like grabs and stuff, and I do enjoy that to an extent.
I enjoy the early game combat
Yeah.
decently. The late game, everything is just too spongy and
everything's a way
barely react to anything you do unless you use the broken combo that allows you to skip all the actual engagement with the combat.
Yeah.
Like, just unlock them with element 1 and element 2.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I think it's the lack of reaction enemies have that really drew it down for me. Because, like, in the new beginning of Eternal Night, it had that cartoonish, like, thwack sound. Like that.
Yeah.
Which might draw away from the darker tone a little bit, but that's fine. And enemies like actually felt like they actually reacted to your hits.
Yeah.
And elements felt very powerful, whereas in Dawn of the Dragon, I felt like they kind of shrug off a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's
like,
more like
hit
the elements
weaker.
that are your default attack, and then when you run out of mana, your main focus should be on how to get mana back again.
Yeah. Juggling enemies is fun when you can.
Yeah.
And free flight's okay.
The free flight is fun.
I do like that there are a couple of times where you actually have freedom of where to go.
Yes.
It's like some of the levels are a little less linear than before, and I like that. Like Valley of Avalar is probably the highlight of the game, to be honest.
Basically.
I also didn't really care for the aesthetic change or some changes in story, or things that just felt like just didn't really get followed up on that were like built up in the first two. When the fuck did Moriego?
We'll meet again, Spyro.
Yeah, no, we won't. And like, I do like the ending, and I like its Broken Soul. Not its Broken Soul. Guide You Home. It felt a little incomplete. Like, it didn't quite feel like it wrapped everything up as nice as I would have wanted. But I still enjoy playing a game. I think I would rank it B rank. You know what? I think A New Beginning, A, but below Season of Flame. I would rank Dawn of the Dragon between A New Beginning and Shadow.
Right, so if we put this here and then put Dawn of the Dragon... Oh, Dawn of the Dragon here.
There.
That makes sense to me.
Either that or A New Beginning is in front of Dawn of the Dragon on B tier. But honestly, A New Beginning I still enjoy quite a lot.
Yeah, I'm happy with this.
Like, it's one that I have no qualms going back to and playing. Okay, and now we get to the handhelds. Oh boy.
Interesting. Okay, so this is A New Beginning DS.
Yes.
Which is this one, if you forgot. It's the first one with light puzzles.
Yeah, which you liked.
I just like doing light puzzles. It's really nothing to do with the rest of the game.
Yeah. Should we go back to the list?
Let's go back to the list.
That's
not the list. That's a different game.
Yeah. I'm thinking C.
Yeah, but you basically just run around all of the combat and don't do it. Or is that a different one I'm thinking of?
That's Eternal Night.
Right.
This one you kind of have to because you get locked behind doors.
Right,
doors and lock.
The combat. Oh yeah, and the combat is like not very interesting. You constantly have to be on the lookout for those bugs that will kill you.
Yeah.
If you don't hit them with the motion controls, the stylus controls.
Touchscreen. Yeah, you have to. Your co-host has to remember that he has to actually kill them.
It was inconsistent. It didn't always do it.
It's more that there were times they spawned. I was like, Ty, help.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you like puzzles, it has some unlockables that we didn't show because we missed a single one.
Yeah. The level design is like it tries to show like similar pieces to the original version of the game, even though it's in 2D and not that similar at all.
Yeah, it has like the levels like has similar kind of art direction to Shadow Legacy, which I appreciate.
Yeah. I think it generally looks good.
It looks okay. Nice compressed cutscenes.
Yeah.
The bosses are flight levels, which
that was interesting.
Yeah. We did turn difficulty down for Sinner, didn't we? Just because it was a little rough and we wanted to get done. It was okay. I think yeah, probably around there is how I'd rank it.
Yeah. What do you think compared to Attack of the Rhinox?
Honestly, I kind of don't want to play DS in the beginning again.
Yeah, that's fair.
Other than to get that one fucking puzzle. Yeah, it's one that I kind of played for the curiosity and for completing my collection, but like I'm not super fond of. Like, I didn't find it as egregiously bad as the Deet is. Which,
yes,
honestly, part of me is tempted to put Fusion up a little bit, just because I feel like I enjoyed it about as much as a couple of these handheld ones that I'm rating higher. So
okay,
it's still gonna be very bottom of C tier. We can move it back again if we feel like
that's
too
fine.
Generous. But I feel like I had more interest in that game, even though it was more repetitive. Speaking of repetitive, A New Beginning GBA.
A New Beginning GBA.
The first version of the game I played
is this version, if you forget.
Yeah, which we played in a single stream. I did sort of end up jumping past a lot of enemies.
Yes.
It's kind of just the most wall ever. C tier, like there. I kind of enjoy it more than the DS version, but that's mostly because it doesn't have the handheld, like the DS gimmicks.
I guess the platforming is...
It's okay. Not amazing.
More interesting than...
It has platforming.
Yeah.
So it's immediately better than DS in my mind.
Yeah. No, that sounds fair to me.
Yeah, it has some nice sprite work too.
Yes.
And like had a couple of like random minigame things in middle levels despite changing it up a little. I like that Concurrent Skies just has a maze. Do you remember the maze?
I don't remember the maze.
Yeah. And I mean it's very short.
Yeah. I guess that makes it less offensive.
Yeah. Like
the low you are.
I have a bit of a bias towards it because this was the first version of New Beginning I played.
Right.
But I also don't super care for it. But see, now I'm thinking, is there going to be too much in C tier? I mean, it's fine.
It doesn't matter really what the distribution is.
Yeah, we can reorganize a couple of them later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of just whatever. It's inoffensive, but you're missing nothing if you skip it. A New Beginning GBA kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eternal Light DS.
Eternal Light DS, which is
this one.
This one. It was.
Once again, had light puzzle that I think were literally the same one.
It was
dragged down by the fact that the screen flashes every time you hit an enemy.
Yeah.
It had some nice environments though.
It did have some nice environments, which were it had original 3D environments.
Yes.
For various parts of the game.
Yeah.
Which was.
I am willing to put this in B tier, I think.
I'm thinking probably similar.
Like either high C or low B. Because I enjoyed a lot of the platforming. I just didn't really care for the combat, but you can ignore.
You can ignore most of the combat.
Yeah, and I feel like it was a bit too like.
Which you should.
Sometimes it was a bit too like. There are no checkpoints.
Right.
Yeah, we had an okay time with it. I just like low poly 3D games. So
it's like playing Rayman 2.
Yes. because I as a kid used to play Rayman DS a lot. I have a lot of fondness for like early 3D games, like sort of low poly 3D games on the DS. And yeah, like some of the different environments were actually quite nice. So I liked the random waterways part of the Dragon Temple. But yeah, it's one I think is fine. I would occasionally go back to play it. Like, not amazing, but it was enjoyable. I like shitty 3D stuff. And yeah, again, it had some neat environments. Bosses were a joke. What if they do shit moves and then get stunned? Wow, stop banging your head against a wall, kind of.
Yeah, the repeated Guardians with basically 2 moves.
Yeah. Also, it had a narrator.
It did have a narrator. That was weird, wasn't it?
It was weird, but I kind of like it. It felt almost like it was like reading you a story.
Yeah, except a lot of the times the narrator would just say things that either then got said in the cutscene or were versions of things that people would say.
But it was slightly different, so we couldn't say everything about it. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know exactly what their reason was for some of them. Whether they could have just used the same character lines.
Yeah, it was okay.
The artwork for the cutscenes was.
I think it looked fine. It was sort of the same sort of sepia style as the main game.
Yeah, but it was the original.
Yeah, it was original. It wasn't probably anywhere near as high quality. But it looked nice.
It was neat.
And yeah. Oh boy. Eternal Night GBA.
Eternal Night GBA. It's the good.
It's A tier.
Definitely A tier.
I'm gonna put it above a New Beginning, to be honest.
Yeah, I would put it above New Beginning. It's almost a Metroidvania, except it isn't.
It has the makings of one. It's probably the hardest Spyro game. Holy shit.
Yeah, damn. I can't imagine playing that game on the hardest difficulty.
I can. It's hell.
Yeah.
But it's great. It sends the GBA off with a bang. Because it was like I think one of the last GBA games to be made. Glances at that one Shantae game.
It was this one, by the way. It was visually gorgeous as well.
Yeah. Sprite work is incredible. A lot of, like,
unique bosses.
Yeah, because like, A New Beginning, I think a lot of the sprites in the GBA version were essentially based on the models, like pre-rendered models from the console version, whereas these were all original.
Yeah.
Some like original bosses. Narco was whatever. I'm not entirely sure what happens in there because he kind of just died. And I feel like
I'll take it.
Yeah, I feel like the game would have taken us another part if I had spent time having to defeat Narco because like by the time we got further, I would have been like, yeah, let's finish it off another time.
The combat is probably the most interesting out of the Eternal Night games?
Or the Legend games?
Sorry, yeah. Why do I call it the Eternal Night? The Legend games.
Because Eternal Night's the best one. Yeah, because like, it has that if you mix things up, you get more experience when the enemy dies, kind of thing.
Yeah, a reward for longer combos.
Yeah, you can chain breath attacks into combos. You have like directional inputs, and like you can and there are optional unlocks like more strings of combos. And the one I didn't realize exists until we played through it, where if you beat the combo trial, like get 15 or higher combo, you get the elemental hit. So it basically just doubles your melee damage.
Yeah,
it just does magic damage as well, which is great. It has the Advisor, who is the best boss in the Spyro game. I'm not quite sure if I'd actually seriously say that, but he's a recurring boss and he's fun each time, and he actually challenged me. There are a couple of things in terms of the control that I wish I think is a little hindered by being on a GBA. Like I would have liked more buttons, or like be able to have the back dodge be a button rather than double tap on the D-pad, especially because if I was playing on an Xbox controller, which has a shit D-pad. Ghoul was hard.
Ghoul was very hard.
Yeah, it has some weird changes to the story and lore as well, which I don't hate. Like mentions of the moon names.
Right. Yeah.
Ignitus being the one you find in the arena rather than Cinder.
Yeah, that was an interesting change.
mentioning that Malifaux's Forged Darkness is partly due to the Well of Souls and not the other way around.
Right, yeah.
Which was neat. And just, yeah, I had a really good time with it. And you seem to as well.
I did. I enjoyed watching.
It's one that you actually said you might consider playing sometime.
And I will consider playing it, yeah.
Yeah. It's one where it does have New Game Plus stuff that we haven't shown off that I'm not sure we will, because I don't want to just do a dark mode. I don't want to do a hard mode playthrough and then a dark mode playthrough, because that's 2 whole playthroughs. Like, I think if we either get a cheat to unlock it or unlock it off screen, I would like to do a Dark Spyro playthrough of the game, because that is unlockable, but that required being hard mode and...
Yeah, that... considering how hard
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Just Gall was on normal mode.
I have played hard mode on my own actual, like, physical copy. I can't remember. I think it's either the Earth Temple or Naga who I got stuck on.
I remember you saying that you were stuck on Naga.
That might have been on medium.
That might have been on medium.
Yeah, because that is difficult. Like, it is I think it's the hardest Spyro game where the difficulty is intentional. Because, I mean, Season of Ice is one that technically I didn't actually beat. I used a cheat code to get to the rest of the levels because I don't want to do the rest of it. So yeah, I'm not actually sure whether I would put it higher than Season of Flame, because they're 2 very different games.
Right.
I mean, they're about equal, honestly.
Yeah.
So I think that ranking is probably fine.
Yeah, I think it belongs there.
Now, for one I really didn't care for...
Ooh, Dawn of the Dragon DS.
Yeah, I did not enjoy this one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, what if we took the previous game we played and made it shit? It's visually kind of ugly, personally. Combat's nowhere near as satisfying. Levels are kind of... platforming is okay. It's very low for me. I'm tempted to say D tier, but I'm possibly being too harsh on it. We did play through the whole thing in one sitting.
Right, yeah.
Do you remember much of it?
I said before this that I remembered Dawn of the Dragon DS enough, but I'm starting to think that I don't.
Yeah. It had 3D assets, but it was a 2D game.
Yeah, I mean, I remember what it looks like. I'm just trying to think of what the gameplay was actually like.
Okay,
I know that sometimes you would get to a platforming section that was, like, the stuff ahead of you was stuff that was basically off screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Spyro and Cinder were too big on the screen.
Right, yeah.
Like, I felt like they need to zoom the camera out a little bit more. The flight levels were somewhat decent. I moved, you shot.
Yeah. Possibly the highlight of the game, actually.
Yeah, honestly, the fact that Spyro and Cinder actually have different, like, attacks for it. Like, Cinder's is a beam you hold, whereas Spyro is a chargeable attack.
And the boss fights, like, I remember, like, we actually had to somewhat learn the moves and adapt to sometimes, like,
yeah, it was,
where the crystal shards would fly to and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a little... I found it a little... The perspective made it a little hard for me to actually gauge.
That's true.
At times. But it was okay. Honestly, I didn't really like it that much at all. I think the actual gameplay felt kind of unpolished.
Right.
I would...
Do you think it belongs in D tier? I think, personally, bottom of C is fine.
Okay, bottom of C.
Because it was more mechanically sound than Enter the Dragonfly, but Enter the Dragonfly is more fun to look at.
I'm not really sure if I would say it's more mechanically sound.
Yeah, okay. Honestly, let's put it in D tier then, at least.
Yeah, I probably would still say it's all D tier, because it doesn't perform like shit.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we separated Reignited Trilogy into the 3, because I think there is a difference in quality of the 3. Yeah,
it would be less interesting to rate the whole thing because we would essentially just be putting it below the original 3.
Yeah. Yeah, Spyro 1 Reignited.
Spyro 1 Reignited, it's a faithful recreation for the most part.
Yeah. I think I said this once we were playing through. It's the only one of the 3 that I think where I consider it, like, to be as good as the original.
Yeah.
Where I would consider the argument that it's better. I don't necessarily. I would rank like okay. It would either be. I think I'm probably gonna put it just below Spyro 1.
Yeah, that's basically where I was thinking about it, but I think it might be interchangeable.
Yeah, like those. I think in those two. I just think the original version does have a stronger aesthetic. But,
Yeah.
it's clearly the one they spent the most time on, put the most love into. Like they redesigned all 74 of the dragons.
Yeah.
Like they gave them all unique designs. Like they went
And
from
people
just,
love those.
Yeah, people really love those. And it's just a very good way of playing Spyro 1, honestly. So I don't have a whole lot to say. I don't think. I mean, across the trilogy, I will say the music is worse, even if you go for classic music. But that's fine. It's still fine. Yeah, I mean, Spyro 1 had the least to fuck up control-wise, because there's like what regular levels and flight levels. That's kind of it.
Yeah. The flight levels are a little different to control, but
yeah, but they're fine. Yeah, and there's a lot of charm put into it. Like, you can tell they had a blast making it.
yeah, and just visually, it's everything looks great.
Yeah.
And they mostly did a good job interpreting the lower poly, like for example, enemy designs.
Mostly glares at Twilight Harbor. I mean, that was a deliberate censoring choice, but I just think the way they did it could have been better. Oh yeah, I wanted to say in terms of like what I consider the best visually, A New Beginning and Eternal Night I think have the strongest aesthetic, and of the games that are not on current / last gen systems are probably the best looking. Reignited is the best looking in general.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I think aesthetically the original it loses out to the originals at some points, more so in 2 and 3, but it's just very good looking. Okay, Spyro 2 Reignited. It doesn't have the double jump, so it's immediately worse than the original. I still think it's fine. It's a fun way to play the game. It's Spyro 2.
It's the only version of Spyro 2 I've played.
Yeah. This is where it gets a bit tricky, because I think that all Reignited is a good way of playing all three of them in a sense, and they do probably all belong near the original trilogy. But like as games in general, I think I would rank Spyro 2 Reignited lower than Hero's Tale.
Ooh, okay.
I think because it is just generally, I don't think there's much that, with the exception of keeping the roll from Spyro 1, which actually is helpful for
the bosses.
I don't think there's anything it does better than the original Spyro 2.
I guess I see that. I mean, if you were look at it as someone who was coming into Spyro for the first time who hadn't played them, and you had Spyro 2 and Spyro 2 Reignited next to each other, imagine that Spyro 2, the original, doesn't exist.
Yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, so, yeah, maybe higher than Hero's Tale then. Between 1 Reignited and Hero's Tale.
Sure.
Because I think it's a worse remake than Spyro 1 Reignited.
Yeah, I get that.
And I just think the original Spyro 2 is a stronger game, and also it has the double jump, so it's immediately better. It's fine.
I guess we'll just move on to Spyro 3 then, which...
Yeah.
Oof.
I mean, it's still good.
It's still good.
That's the thing.
They fucked up some stability glitches and physics stuff.
Yeah. Missed out a few things. Rip bar.
Why? It's just feels a little unfinished is mainly the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I would probably put it at the top of A tier, maybe.
Yeah, sure, that's fair.
Because, like, at its core, it's still Spyro 3.
Yeah.
And I guess if you were to play it without having ever played Year of Dragon, it would be, like...
Yeah, I guess looking at the
game.
disparity between Spyro 3 being at the top of the tier list and Spyro 3 Reignited only being in top of A.
Yeah, but I think that's why I'm treating the Reignited trilogy a little differently.
Yeah, I mean this is only our subjective opinions. Anyway.
Yeah,
and we do have the option of playing the original or reignited. So
Yeah. So actually, honestly, I think I would put 2 reignited below Hero's Tale in that case
sure,
then.
let's do that.
Because of like it's Spyro 2, so it is the better game, and it's a good way of playing it. But
You could just play Spyro 2.
yeah, that's how I feel. That's kind of how I feel about them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whereas Hero's Tale is Hero's Tale. It's its own thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Reignited's Year of Dragon does enough wrong that it's not quite S tier for me. It's still A tier. It's still.
I don't like a lot of the character redesigns.
Sheila.
Sergeant Bird's alright, but the rest are kind of meh.
Yeah. Bentley's whatever.
I don't like Bentley.
Okay. He doesn't have the goober eyes
He doesn't have the goober eyes in the
on the cover art.
on the cover art.
Yeah. Like it's still you know good. I think it makes enough mistakes, but also like not just the character redesigns, but also I feel like Sheila's feels worse to control.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot how much they messed up Sheila's physics.
Yeah. It has a couple of additions that I do appreciate, like re-including the Super Whirlwind and Midnight Mountain, and just Agent 9's just modern shooter controls.
Yeah, that's good. What about the random character interjections during the cutscenes?
You know what? I immediately take it back.
Yeah, that's something that just makes it worse.
Yeah. Are there any alterations you'd make to the list, or should we or do you reckon that's it?
I think I'm happy with it, really.
Yeah, I think honestly the ones I'm the most unsure about are quite a few of the handheld ones near the bottom, because that is partly leaning in more into personal biases.
And I mean, these are all only relative to each other within the same series. It's not comparing them to like any other games.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think the S tier ones are like must plays if you're gonna play Spyro. A tier is a mixed one, because I know Legend of Spyro isn't for everyone.
Yeah.
But I think obviously Reignited, just play the Reignited trilogy in general. But I think Season of Flame is definitely worth checking out.
Season of Flame and GBA Eternal Night.
Yeah, I think if you're not super invested in Legend of Spyro in general, but want to just play a good 2D action platformer, I think Eternal Night is worth playing. Whereas, like, you notice how I didn't super praise the combat in the console Legend of Spyro games? It's because it's kind of repetitive and not great.
Yeah.
But they're
not
short,
a whole lot of depth.
Yeah, they're short enough that I don't find it too tiring.
Yeah.
With the exception of Dawn of the Dragon, which is longer. Actually, I'm not sure if it is longer. It feels longer.
It feels longer.
Yeah. So yeah. B tier, like, Dawn of the Dragon is kind of, I guess it's kind of potentially worth checking out just because of the co-op aspect of it. And I mean, if
you've played the other ones,
yeah,
then...
if you've played the New Beginning of Eternal Night, then you might as well finish up the trilogy.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of what B tier kind of feels like. If you've played the other ones, then play these other versions of them.
Yeah. Shadow Legacy is kind of interesting, but honestly, you could just read up most of the interesting stuff on the wiki or just watch a playthrough. And Eternal Night DS is whatever. C tier is kind of just like the ones that I don't find too egregious, but didn't really enjoy super much, or either that or just found kind of forgettable.
Yeah. Equal parts good to bad.
I think I'm going to put Fusion down in D tier again, I'm sorry.
Lol.
Top of D tier.
Yeah, top of D tier.
And D tier is these are not very good. I think Spyro Fusion is better than people say it is. I still don't think it's good. And the most interesting part is part that we haven't actually done.
So yeah, well, maybe we'll get to that eventually.
Yeah. Okay, so that's basically everything.
Cool.
Streaming all these was fun. I hope both this video and the streams have given you enough of an idea of why Spyro is my favorite series despite the ups and downs. Like we're not gonna go back to this series for a while. We're gonna play other things. But there are things that we haven't quite covered that we will. Like just probably some separate videos rather than streams. I think we've said this before.
Yeah.
But I'll say again for clarification. Nearest thing will probably be the final few minigames of Fusion, just because I have those available. A New Beginning and Eternal Night both have some form of New Game Plus. Same with Spyro 2 in the form of Super Claim. Probably won't be like 100% runs for any of those. Spyro 1 and 2 have the Japanese versions that I want to play at some point. That'd be interesting. Were we going to bother with the light puzzles in A New Beginning?
We'll see. Probably not, to be honest.
Yeah, like here's a video of Ty doing light puzzles for like 20 minutes.
I mean, maybe if we have nothing better to do one
Yeah.
time, it could be a good laugh.
Yeah, I already told you what the unlockables are, and the most interesting one is Playable Cinder. So, yeah. Eternal Night GBA, I don't think I'll go back to unless we find some means of unlocking Dark Spyro without I mean, maybe we should try and suffer through hard mode, just not on stream. Or you can do it on your own time.
Woo! I mean, yeah, if I'm gonna play the game, why not play the hardest version of the game?
And there's also the mobile games that I don't know how long they are, but they'll probably just cover like in videos themselves. And once we've done those, we'll probably add them to this list, I think.
Yeah,
if there's anything to add.
I guess at the end of each.
At the end of each one, should we? Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, like once we've played the game, just edit a little bit in where we just talk about the tier list, just put it on this, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah. I hope this gives a good enough idea of how I feel about this franchise.
Tell us what you think in the comments. What's your favorite game?
Do you agree with our Watch Mojo top 10 list?
Yeah. Thanks for coming with us on our journey.
Yeah, it still feels so surreal that it's done.
Yeah.
And yeah. Hope if you have any further questions on where you rank these, or think we should have ranked someone, like ranked one of your favorites higher or ranked one of your least favorites lower, let us know and we'll tell you why you're wrong. I jest, but yeah. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.